Howdy, everyone. It's me and a blank microphone. Also, I don't know what just happened. My camera just moved uh mid talking. But howdy, Wombat. Welcome to the stream. Timberwolves lose again. We are now 16. Ashwin's here, by the way. Here he comes. But um Timberwolves lose again, and that's sad. Oh, that's why. I see. I mixed up all the cameras, but we're back. Ashwin's here, and we were just talking about how much fun it is to watch all the games. Yeah, they both played tonight. Both we got treated to Minnesota Sports 101. So if any new fans are out there, guess what? This is a regular occurrence. Usually we spread them out between the days. It's not usually on the same night that this happens. So usually you get a little bit on Sunday, a little bit on Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Instead, you got them in the same exact time and same exact hour. So yes, exactly. But not. I mean, honestly, I will say that I didn't necessarily have such a bad time watching this game. There were elements of it that were fun, like Nas had a good game. Patrick Beverly had some funny moments where he was holding hands with literally every Laker at some point tonight. Um, yeah, and Jalen Noel had another good night, and it kind of was like that Jalen Noel that we've seen. That's kind of like, yes, I want that Jalen Noel. Um, but at the same time, we're 16-20 now. And as we've gone back and forth now, we win 5, we lose 5, we win 5, we lose 5. We are now, I don't know how many we've lost in a row now. I guess I have to double check. But we are, we've lost, let me see. We've only lost 2 in a row, and we're 5-5 in our last 10, which makes sense because we seem like a 500 team, except we're playing, I think, a little bit less than a 500 team. And that's even with our healthy players. I know Cat's out. I know D'Lo's out. But I just think there's elements of our team that are just not fully ready yet. But yeah, did you enjoy watching tonight, or was tonight? I know you love watching LeBron, so. Yeah, treated to another Lakers. And also the confetti. Oh, Ashwood, you're muted. I muted you. Whoopsies.
Oh, Godfrey, thank you to the rescue.
That's perfect because I just yabbed for like 5 minutes, and luckily you weren't talking very much, so that's good.
Sure. All good, all good. Yeah, my name's Gerald. Thanks for joining us today. Happy New Year to all you all, and to all you a good night. We're done.
That's it.
Or whatever that expression was, or used to be. Shout out to LeBron's hairline. No, I really enjoyed this game for the bits and pieces that I knew like coming in, we were probably going to lose this game. They have like 80% of their health, right? And we are missing 80% of our production. So I'm expecting to lose this game, but we have beaten a LeBron James Lakers this season.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I was like expecting a little bit, more panache out of our team. And we got a little bit of penis. That was so stupid. That was like not even a thing. I don't know what I'm saying. I'm fucking done. It's 9 p.m. here, which is like so late. Oh my god.
Yeah, for you. For me, it's 11 something. It's 11-11. Yeah. Make a wish, and I wish that the Timberwolves would have won.
Yeah, how well we were playing was kind of like a result of how porous the Lakers defense was and how they didn't give a shit, but they weren't even trying, and Westbrook was giving the ball to us, so we were given so many chances. But holy crap, that game was sloppy. It was really exciting. It was fun to see Nas work. It was fun to see, Noel put in a lot of shots, a lot of like one-on-one kind of ISO plays that was really cool to see. He put a lot of work in. Both of them were awesome tonight. But like just the pieces around the second nucleus of our team, right? The bench players that come to play every night wasn't there. And like we're gonna lose to the Lakers playing our best. We are going to, but we're gonna lose to the Lakers, absolutely guaranteed, when we just cough the ball up. Yeah. When we are literally running plays that are like not what we've ever done before. Nas spinning and passing and twirling, Ant driving and behind, like kind of through the legs, up in the air, over LeBron's head,
Yeah.
to like Beasley in the corner. Like, when does that ever happening, right? So we got to do simple plays. And what was so exciting was the first half. The first half was just simple NBA basketball action,
Yeah.
and it worked so well.
That's true. I did enjoy the first half, and there were moments in the first half where I was kind of convinced that we were going to win, just because of
Totally.
how lackadaisical the Lakers were playing, and how, I mean, I wouldn't say this was like max passion Timberwolves, but like we were playing well. We were playing pretty good. Similar to the last game, like we played well for moments of the game and through strides of the game, but especially against the Lakers team that has everybody. Other than AD, but I mean, Lakers fan will tell you they're probably happy that AD's sitting out right now. I just think that it's I don't know. I think we played well for moments tonight, but without your main players, you're just not gonna have it. And yeah.
Let's talk about Nasri just in general in the first half. 6 for 7 directly in, like, under the basket, 1 for 2 in the painted area. In the second half, 3 for 4.
Mm-hmm.
In the fourth quarter alone, 0 shots in the paint, 1 corner 3, and it was the dumbest fucking 3 you could take.
Yeah.
What happened? All right. Beasley and Noel, let's put them all together. In the first half, sensational in the paint, like 5 of 8 or whatever. And the second half, they're just jump shooting, and they were great, but they weren't shooting enough. Ant in the paint in the first half. Sorry, I'm doing some numbers because I found a site. It's doing some shit.
Nice.
4 or 5 at the rim.
Mm-hmm.
Second half, jump shots galore and misses everywhere. Whatever we were doing in the first half, just second half adjustments didn't take. And I was struggling to see some of like the flow that was happening in the first half, trying to like replicate the second half. And Lakers weren't doing anything different. They were literally the same defensive scheme. We were zoning them, and they were just making shots in the first half, and they weren't making anything in the second half.
Yeah.
Everything we were doing wrong, the Lakers were on pace with us. So this game was ours for the taking, and it's unfortunate that we lost this game. It was unfortunate to see Ant Edwards and Beasley and like our stars not take over this game the way that they could have.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of like a classic Lakers LeBron game where he's kind of waiting for his turn, waiting through the game, and then in the fourth quarter he takes over. I don't know. Yeah. It was frustrating to see especially that fourth quarter. And when Noel was 7 for 10 from the field, you take him out and you put back in Beasley, who proceeds to chuck. Yeah. And Noel needed to be out there and not Beasley. And because of Jaden McDaniels falling out, you put back in Noel, and he doesn't get a touch to the end of the game, right? I don't know. I think it was some bad transitions from the first half to the second half that didn't take. And overall, just a lackluster kind of awareness of what was going on. Malik Monk was popping off, and we weren't doubling him or getting the ball out of stance. Oh. I don't know. Frustrating.
It is frustrating. A lot of the things were frustrating. The turnovers were frustrating. How many did we end up with tonight? Like 20-something? 23. Yeah, 23
too many. Yeah, 20 too many.
So it's crazy, And then they were just talking about how the first half we didn't have that many, I don't think. And then, because I think Dave and Jim were talking about the last game where we had like 30 turnovers or something crazy. But then the second half, we just keep doing stuff. And like you said, Ant was making Ant in the first half was making some pretty incredible passes, whether they were regular, like actual assists or hockey passes. Or hockey assists. They were like amazing. I was so happy, even though his shot wasn't there, even though he wasn't playing super aggressive, he was still contributing in ways that were meaningful. But then that second half, he started forcing things. He started to try to take his 3. The one thing I'll say about Ant, and I know we want to get into the tier list here, but Ant, he clearly at this stage in his career, which is like barely over a year, an actual year of time, he truly relies on his shot making ability to lead to his creation ability. He wants to, early in the game, get settled, get shots, especially threes or dunks. And if he can get threes or dunks, then the rest of the game, Ant is that guy that you have to worry about because he can do everything after that point. But if he can't get his three down, if he can't drive and get an open layup, he just isn't the same player. And I think we saw that tonight because he tried over and over again to get the three going, and he just couldn't. Luckily, he only took 6, I think, shots tonight from 3, but he didn't make any of them. So
it was a strange feeling in my head when I was watching this game where we were actually playing better without Ant. And I hated saying that out loud, and I hate saying it, admitting that. But we were playing better without Ant. Ant was more of like a decoy in a lot of ways. With the ball in Jalen Noel's hands, we looked a little bit fiercer, crisper. With the ball in Beverly's hands, we were running an offense. We were running pick and roll. We were doing things that were like getting everyone involved and running the offense through Nas, proceeded to give us a lot of open opportunities. We just didn't make them in the first half. And then we stopped going to it. I'm saying the same point over and over again because I just don't understand what happened. What made us switch gears?
It is interesting because it did happen kind of in the fourth quarter where we just suddenly changed, and it was like everything that was working, we kind of stopped doing. And I would have to watch it again, and I don't know if I want to watch it again to see if it was more of, I mean, because the Lakers defense was so bad for most of the game. I don't know if the Lakers did something or if we just get into clutch time without D'Lo and Cat and we start to get nervous because it seemed at times like we were just nervous. But I don't know. But anyways, catching up on chat.
Another thing that was, another thing. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Jared says another bad fourth quarter performance. Yep, just like we were just talking about. Wombat says Ant spending too much time with Cat. I'm assuming you're talking about the passes. And then I said Gerald muted, and Wombat said Gerald muted. So nice. There we go.
Great caught up. We're caught up.
Yeah.
Another thing that was happening in the first half that I was like applauding the Timberwolves was lack of the foul. We were fouling kind of a fair amount, but we weren't getting them we weren't like giving them free throws, like freebies at the line. We were like toe to toe with them or neck to neck in terms of free throw discrepancy. And it just so happened in the fourth quarter that it just exploded, right? But it was interesting to see, and hopefully that develops where we are fouling correctly and emphatically, but we're not, doing it where they get to the line more or double or triple like the fucking Utah Jazz.
Yeah. All right. Well, you want to get into the tier list?
Sorry. Yeah.
All right. Boom. New tier list with chat. Oh my goodness. I think the chat will work, hopefully. But we'll see. You guys have to test it out, see if chat works. But yeah. So, as we've been doing, we're going to keep it relatively short with this. Mm-hmm. We do have testies on the screen.
I like it.
I like that too. But we're going to keep it kind of short on the bench players because obviously we had like 5 or 6 bench players to play tonight, but we don't need to go through all of them. So I think we probably just need to do the starters and then Jalen Noel and probably only maybe Jaden McDaniels barely, but that's pretty much it. So
I was mad when I saw Taurean Prince in the game. I'm glad he made the 3, but I was like, I don't want to see him in the game. He had 2 costly, at least 1 turnover and 1 like really stupid turnover that like led to a fast break point transition that called immediately forced a timeout. Mm-hmm. Nathan Knight was there as spell minutes for Nas, and the only other thing that I wanted to say is I wish Greg Monroe had an opportunity.
It seemed weird. It seemed like this was like one of the perfect games to have.
It was one of the perfect games. There was no post play on the Lakers end.
Yeah, they didn't. Yeah. Also, are they not playing
Stanley Johnson?
Jordan? What Stanley Johnson? Is he not a small forward? Am I stupid?
He's playing center for them.
Yeah, what? When that happened, I was like, is this like a different Stanley Johnson? Because I remember when Stanley Johnson was drafted, I weirdly kind of liked him. Also, side note, I was worried about Ants because I thought he reminded me of Stanley Johnson.
Yeah. Wow.
Weird connection. But when I saw him guarding Nas at center, I was like, he's like 6'7", like he's like Ant playing center, right?
Right.
Am I dumb? Like,
no,
I thought he was like small forward. But yeah, so anyways, we'll do Jaden real quick. The only thing I'll say about we'll get into him after we grade him real quick. You want to do a 3, 2, 1?
Yeah.
Jaden McDaniels. 7 points, 8 rebounds, 3 of 6 shooting, fouled out. All right. 3, 2, 1. C.
Yep.
Yeah.
This is kind of what we were expecting out of Jaden. I think what was really awesome to see was the rebounding in the first half, and then he stopped. He just stopped doing it. He just started fouling. I think LeBron was getting into his head, and like literally on small drives, he was just getting fouls on everything. And what was working for him in the first half wasn't in the second half. That is kind of the message I'm trying to preach out tonight, is that everyone kind of just switched gears. Jaden was definitely one part of that.
Yeah, no, definitely. And there were moments tonight where I did like Jaden, and primarily in the first half again. But he just defaults to these like weird fouling plays that I just hate, and I just accidentally deleted chat somehow. But no, yeah, it just kind of drives me crazy at times. So, anyways, yeah, he fouled out. That's not okay. I was almost going to give him a B tonight because he was making some shots, and rebounding, but it stopped and the fouls came. So, anyways, enough time on Jaden. Next up, Jalen had 17 points, was 7 of 10 shooting.
Yes.
Only had 2 personal fouls. Not that we really worry about that with him so much. No. Are you ready to grade Jalen?
Yeah.
I think I am as well.
Nice.
3, 2, 1. A?
A.
Yes. Yeah.
On a loss.
I know.
He was probably one of the 2 best players on our team tonight.
Yeah.
And I would say maybe there's another starter in there that could go in there in the conversation. But I love what I saw from him. He took LeBron on. He took I think he boxed out like Melo or something. And maybe he didn't get the rebound, but he boxed out Melo. And then he did all the little things compounded with amazing shooting. He did it within the flow of the offense, and he wasn't getting those last second shots that we're so accustomed to seeing from him. And he took some one-on-one transition plays too. I loved everything from him.
I did too. I think the reason that it's an A even on a loss is like, what do we expect out of Jalen? It's kind of all over the place what we expect from him. This is kind of the game that we hope for from him. Maybe like the ceiling for him. I'm not saying he can't get more, because obviously he had like that 29-point game or whatever, but like this is a game that I think we could get from a Jalen Noel regularly. Side note, and we won't go into this very long, but like if Jalen can do this consistently, and maybe not 17 points consistently, but just be a scorer consistently, Malik's spot looks dangerous and ready to maybe be moved.
Yeah. And, it's kind of funny. We were saying this, kind of hinting at the idea of this last year and how it could never be done. It's nice to have the same player off the bench as it is for the starter of Beasley, because Beasley is on such an amazing contract that we could just have like duplicate kind of a score or a role in off the bench. That's awesome to see. Like we have with Nas and Kat, like we have with, Jaden and Jared Vanderbilt. It's kind of fun to see that. But I think Beasley is in his head quite a bit. And I think he thinks he's better than he is, and he takes it upon himself. And when he had a really nice hot first quarter, it went to shit.
Yeah.
Like 4 shots were great, and the rest was ass. Like he didn't know what he was doing. He didn't know how he was taking shots. And some of them were air balls. Like I don't understand what's happening.
Yeah, they were really bad. And I think this is a great transition into Malik Beasley for his grade. He had 16 points. He was 6 of 18 shooting, 4 of 11 from 3. Not necessarily the worst shooting night. Obviously, we've seen worse, but
we've seen worse.
But it did take us out of the game at times. And it was really frustrating. And you're right. Just like you said, I was very excited to have a player like this and a contract like this, but it still has not come to fruition this year. What?
Wombat says pre-prison Beasley will be a story you tell your kids about.
Oh my god, Wombat.
Like preseason Jared Culver, pre-prison Beasley.
Yeah, well, Wombat's got a D, so let's get our grades in there. All right, are you ready?
Yep. 3, 2, 1.
D. Yeah.
We're not gonna belabor this point much. I don't think this is the Beasley I want to see moving forward. I think 36 minutes was about 32 minutes too much. Like I think if he's not out there producing offensively, he's a dud, and he's a turnstile on defense. And the way that D'Lo plays defense is not the way that the way that Beasley plays in the post, like kind of like as that like free safety. He's terrible at it. He left Malik Monk open. Like Minnesota Malik versus Los Angeles Malik, like fucking no contest.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Malik Monk is superior in every way. And I don't know, man. I'm ready to move on from Beasley. Period. Like full stop.
Yeah, I still believe that it's going to take him the full season, probably maybe even 3/4 of the season to the full season to be regular Beasley. But truthfully, we don't even really know what regular Beasley is. We haven't seen that because we just saw like a half a season of him the year before. So
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, at this moment in time, I am kind of more in line with seeing more Jalen Noel minutes. I just
Yeah.
still. And not that I should say anything comparing this to Beasley, because Beasley's had some
Yeah.
really bad moments this year, but like I still just can't fully trust Jalen Noel. I
Yeah.
think it's just that I've seen the past years, I've seen him go nuts in G League.
G League stuff. Yeah.
When he gets up here, I've said this every show. I don't even say it all the time, but like he just, I don't have the confidence level with him's not there, and for some reason, my confidence level with Malik, I still think he's gonna make every three. I have no idea. I'm broken,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
but yeah. So
Yeah.
Anyways, by the way, like the stream if you haven't already. That's the only
Like
plug
it.
I'm doing tonight. So,
Just like
also,
it, nothing else.
yeah. I mean, we lost all our burner subscribers, so we're back under 100. Sad. I celebrated too early.
Yeah, man.
Anyways, let's do Pat Bev next.
Sure.
So Patrick Beverly, 12 points, nine rebounds, 6 assists, 2 steals, a block, 5 of 12 shooting, 4 personal fouls, 1 really
Couple
bad
suspect
personal
fouls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyways,
Seemed like he was having his hands all over the Lakers tonight.
yeah.
I think in a way it was a classic Beverly game.
It was.
I'm ready. Are you?
I am ready. You want to do the
All right.
countdown?
Yeah. 3, 2, 1.
C.
Ooh, okay. I say B because this is kind of what I want out of Beverly every night.
True.
The way that he was running the offense and pick and roll was fantastic. 6 assists, 9 rebounds from your 6.0 point guard is fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, maybe he took it upon himself to shoot 1 too many threes or 1 too many post drives, and he had some costly turnovers, especially late. Like it happens. It happens to a guy that is not running an offense routinely.
Yeah.
He's asked to do it on a team like this. It's crazy. It's wild. And so I'm very impressed with what he's been able to do with the talent depletion from COVID, right? Like we are missing so much of our offense. What he's able to manifest with our others has been great to see.
Yeah, I agree. And actually, I think you've probably convinced me just because I think I am kind of going more off of what I'm hoping and expecting. And because, yeah, I mean, that's good production from him. I think if he had this kind of production in a night where we had Kat and D'Lo and everybody there, I'm going to be pretty happy. So yeah, I agree. I think we can put him up. You said a B, right?
Yeah, I said a B.
Yeah, okay, I agree. Cool. Well, let's see. Who do we want to do next? Let's do Jared Vanderbilt next. So, Jared Vanderbilt, 3 points, 12 rebounds, and again, another kind of standard Vanderbilt rebound game. 2 assists, 2 blocks. He did have 3 personal fouls, nothing too crazy. And that's pretty much it. Are you ready for your grade?
Yeah.
I am also ready. 3, 2, 1, B.
B. Okay, so you said a B. Go ahead.
Only reason I say B, and I think I kind of convinced myself in one of the most recent shows. I can't remember which one it was. Somebody in chat was kind of saying, or maybe you were. When we get to these players, like obviously I expect this isn't like some insane game out of Vanderbilt. This is almost what we expect at this point. But when there's effort involved and there's like this high effort kind of play, I guess I tend to lean a little bit more because realistically, this is probably a game that I expect out of Vanderbilt at this point. This is nothing above what I expect, nothing below what I expect. This is exactly what I expect, which is crazy coming into the season. You wouldn't really expect anything like this, but he has earned it now to be expected to do this level of effort. But effort, I just feel like there needs to be a little bit extra added on for that effort. So I say B, probably B minus, but still, that would be my pitch for B. Rebuttal.
Yeah, I mean, the positives were him guarding LeBron for most of the game, actually probably the entire game, except for I think he like hurt his groin, and then Jaden McDaniels took
Yes.
over for, like
Yes.
spot minutes. It was kind of interesting to see that, and they both kind of serviced themselves against LeBron, and LeBron got his stats, not like triple double stats, but like enough to really influence and impact the game.
Uh-huh.
They can only do that much against LeBron, right?
Yeah.
A rebuttal would be, I would say, miscues and not being completely fluent on the offense, regardless of who was on the court with him. I think I saw kind of a headless chicken out there at times. Like he's there for the offensive rebounds, he's there for the hustle and everything, but he was really on point defensively against LeBron. On the other end of the on the score on the floor, I didn't see him at all. Right, I didn't see him make the impact that he usually does make on offensively. There was one or two like times where we got like multiple possessions in a row. Kudos to the players like Vanderbilt and all those for getting multiple chances, but we didn't capitalize on any of that. And some of that could be just straight up going right at the rim, dunking immediately. But we just don't see that from Vanderbilt. And I wish I could see that from Vando, because I don't think we can trust who's shooting right now. We need to get some easy buckets. We need to get paint possessions, and I think Vando can do that with those offensive rebounds.
Yeah, I think you're right in some regards. I do think that a lot of his offensive rebounds and just his offensive rebounds tonight were ones where his body was being taken away from the basket.
You're right.
And
You're right.
I think like there was that one possession in particular where we had like 4 or 5 shots in one possession, and he was just beasting, and everybody's missing. Ant's missing like multiple shots in the same possession.
Yeah, it sucks.
And like Beasley missed one, or actually Beasley I think was the one that eventually made a shot, but man, it just it hurts. So
yeah, good point on that.
I guess for the loss, we'll bump him down to a C, because points wise there wasn't really that much. The rebounds was there tonight, but we'll bump him down. I'm going to keep him at a C plus though. So that's my little spice to that, I guess. But
sure.
All right, we're down to the last 2 players. Let's do. You want to save Nas for last or do Nas first?
Let's do Nas first.
Nas first. So Nas Reed, 23 points, 11 rebounds.
Wow.
He was 10 of 17 shooting. Did have 4 personal fouls, but doesn't really felt that much throughout the game, I guess. 5 of his rebounds were offensive. All right, you ready to do a grade for Nas Reed?
Yeah.
I am also ready. 3,
sure.
2, 1, A.
A. Yeah. I'm glad we're on the same page on this, because I think he at points in this game was the best player on the court. Yeah. He was very fluent. He didn't stumble on his he sometimes stumbles and falls down when he tries to drive. He was very quick with his feet, very nimble, and he took all of the advantages as mismatches. And who we see have mismatches and can't perform and can't back down the smaller players that defend him? Cat. Yeah. It's nice to see Nas doing something other with his skill set.
Yep.
And getting 9 for 11 in the like painted area, or like 10 for 12 or whatever, the painted area, was fantastic to see. I wish we saw it all game, because we were a completely different team in the first half than we were in the second half. And it was so much fun watching Beverly pick and roll with Nas Reed. And Nas Reed took it on himself. He got that couple of and ones, and he was feeling himself. He was like, flexing. And when do we really see that raw emotion from Nas that often? And like, we were kind of like not jaded, who should probably be an NBA player on our team, but like we were kind of like perplexed about like who is Nas Reed moving forward for us, because we have Nathan Knight or Nate Knight moving up the ranks, and we have Greg Monroe just kind of sitting there, sitting in the waiting pool or whatever. Like Nas Reed was kind of the forgotten man, and like it was so awesome to see him start B kick ass, kick every matchup he had against him, with the exception of maybe a LeBron James possession. He dominated. Yeah,
you're right. And I think, not to switch the focus off of him, because he had such a good night and he deserves the A that he got tonight, but clearly his game was working tonight, and we have another player on the bench who can also play in the post, and that is Greg Monroe. I don't know why he did not play tonight. Kind of drives me crazy. But
think about Nas Reed and then subbing in Greg Monroe for Nas Reed or whatever, like doing that back and forth where we wouldn't lose a single fucking step.
Yeah, or like they put in Nathan Knight early, and it's like, okay, that clearly didn't really work. So let's throw in Greg Monroe. But maybe they're saving Greg Monroe for tomorrow night. I don't know. I guess
Oh,
Evots,
oh, maybe,
Zubats,
maybe.
and Hartenstein or whatever his name is. They're just big killers. So, anyways, that could be, but hopefully, I actually don't even know when his 10 days are up, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
But
I'm hoping it's after tomorrow.
I'm hoping it's after tomorrow too.
Yeah.
Got to see one more Greg Monroe game. But anyways, yeah, I think A is good for Nas, and great game for Nas tonight. So
cool. Yeah.
Last player of the night, Anthony Edwards.
Mm-hmm.
So, Gerald quickly says, "Why would we sub Smart when we can just do scheduled subs like Finch does? There's no reason to react to the game you are playing." Nice, Gerald.
Nice, Gerald.
But anyways, Anthony Edwards, 18.7 rebounds, 4 assists. He was 7 of 19 shooting and 0 of 6 from 3. So realistically, he was 7 of 13 from his real shooting, and then 0 of 6 from 3. So did get to the line a little bit tonight. Had 8 turnovers and 3 personal fouls. But
right.
All right. Are you ready to grade Ant?
Yeah, I think so.
I think I am too. 3, 2, 1. D.
D. I wanted to say D.
I'm in between C and D.
I'm going to convince myself it's a D. Nice. Shut up. I'm going to convince myself it's a D. I don't think he was there in like a small spurt in the first half.
Yeah.
He was 4 for 8 from the field, and they were all like kind of layups and like small mid ranges. And that was nice to see. He didn't take it over, and he didn't like shoot us in a huge hole or deficit. We kept it close, and he wasn't like taking it upon himself to take over the game. That's maybe a detriment. But what happened in the second half was, he thought it was time. And the person and the people who were running the show, Nas, Beverly, and Jalen Noel, completely were taken out of the game for Ant chucks. Just for Ant shot attempts. And the ISO shit that he does is so predictable. It's so predictable. It's so predictable. It's literally a 3 that is, it's basically a black hole in offense, and then like kind of like this weird step back, always missing, or top of the key, waiting for the shot clock to run out, and then he's like, I don't know what to do, I can't drive. Or a drive, kind of losing the ball in control and not knowing where the rim should go. Like it's like he hasn't developed the other play when option 1 and option 2 are taken away from you. What else should you do? You should pass the ball. You should drive and kick. Yeah. And he was doing some of that in the first half, and he completely stopped in the second half.
Yeah, he started to try to, just like you said, he started to try to take over. It was time for Ant, and just wasn't working. And I hate saying this because I know he's super early on, but like this does give me shades of like the Wiggins and Levine's days when they were both trying to drive and be ball handlers, and they just couldn't do it. Wiggins has the same size hands as me. So it's like he just doesn't have the ball handling ability that these other players have, and they just lose it when they drive it into the paint. Ant is still 20, so I am still trying to reserve a 100% judgment, but it is a trend, and it's a trend that we have to keep an eye on for the next however many years, because right now Ant needs to be working. I like him driving, because there were drives tonight where I was like, whoa, why can't we just do that every time? Because
I know
he drives past everyone, gets this like crazy reverse layup. That's fantastic, and he has a good step back move too. If he could make 3-point shots at a higher rate, and also be a better ball handler, then
he'll be a very scary player.
He'd be top 10 player. He has that potential, but that's potential. It's not there yet, and it's not really even that close. So it's nerve-wracking at one point.
It's nerve-wracking.
But,
right.
At the same time, we do have Cat and D'Lo, and we know that when all three of those guys play together, usually good things happen. Usually all three of them play pretty well. So I think the only thing that I'll say in Ant's defense tonight, because I do think that he was a D, and I forgot to put him in a D tier, but because tonight he did take away from the team more than he gave to the team, and I think he works well in a tandem of 3, so like that 3-headed dragon, I guess.
Yeah.
And you need you need those other players producing so that he can have those moments of learning, observing, and just finding his way. When he's being thrown out there as a star, which he's just not yet, it's just tricky. So
it's tricky. Yeah, I love what you said there, and I think the parts of the game that I really liked were that first half kind of under control game, and then the last like maybe minute and a half where he got to the line twice, or he got to the line, for 4 shots at the free throw line. I thought that was really good because it just showed that he needed to take over, but he wanted to take over in the right way by getting to the line, driving to the rim, and I appreciated the ideas and the attempts in his head,
yeah,
but in reality, it was just really hard to watch him kind of figure it out. And we're patient, humble group of Timberwolves fans. We have been so ass forever, but like time is ticking on the potential of this group, and we can wait through the season and potentially beyond. But like, how much do our stars wait for this?
Yeah.
And so potential is the key here, but like we need to see it earlier than ever, right? So we miss D'Lo, we miss Cat for sure. We win this game with those 2 players, I think for sure. But it's just I don't know. We saw Donovan Mitchell take over a game at will last time, and I really wish that we could see an Anthony Edwards kind of taking upon himself to do all the right things. And how aggressive he was in the beginning of the season defensively, he has tapered off and he has fallen back into some other tendencies and habits. And maybe the COVID break kind of put him into bad habit zone again. And so hopefully with a couple of games here under his belt, he'll fix some of those issues that he's been so accustomed to having on occasion. And I just think like 8 turnovers is like something to just put on repeat in his head, that this cannot happen. If we need to beat any team in the NBA, you specifically cannot have 8 turnovers in a game.
Yeah, I agree. And hopefully it's just that he's 20, and hopefully it's just that he's inexperienced. But yeah. By the way, Godfrey, the mythical 3-headed dragon is Ant, Cat, and McLaughlin. Not not D'Lo. Yeah, no.
Sure.
And Godfrey, you bring up a good point. We lost to Dallas with Cat and D'Lo. I do feel, and this is just, there's no stats really to back it up other than just the losses. I just feel that the Timberwolves are in a little bit of a lull of caring right now. Like there are moments where we're still playing well and better basketball than we have previously. And I still think our defense overall has been, weirdly, probably our best defense that the Timberwolves have ever had since like early 2000s,
Probably.
But we're 16-20, which is also good. That's also unfortunately one of the best schedules, or one of the best records that we've had in over a decade. But obviously there are things to improve. We are only about like a third of the way through the season or so we still have more time to figure things out. We're obviously going through the crazy COVID wave that we shouldn't even be playing through, but like that is a part of it. We got to get everybody back. Everybody's got to get everybody back, and start to really grind, because we're getting into. We're in January now, so we're kind of in that mode where it's like, hey, this is the time where you need to be settling into your playoff spot. And guess what? We are only a game and a half out of being out of the play-in game right now. So that is not good. We definitely need to be winning some games. And sure, maybe we go on another streak where we win like 3 or 4 in a row. We have a couple OKC games coming up, but OKC can win games. It's not like we are not given to beat any team, and at the same time we aren't given to lose every game. So it's this weird in-between era. I still, playoffs and 500 would be my goal by the end of the season. Even if it's just a play-in game, I would be okay with that. But yeah. And Gerald, I think it looks like Ashwin or Gerald number 2 is working on that right now.
Yeah, I'm sending myself some Discord links right now. Sorry, just
perfect.
Doing some work on the side.
Sounds good. But yeah. Cool.
Tomorrow we're playing the Clippers. Is that correct?
We are playing the Clippers.
I just made that guess because of reasons. Like we schedule typically Lakers Clippers together. I didn't see the schedule, but I don't know if I'm going to be watching that game tomorrow, and I don't know if we're going to be doing a show tomorrow. Just as a heads up.
Yes.
What are your thoughts?
I agree because it's going to be
it's very
super late. It starts at
Yeah.
9:30 for
Yeah.
me, which means that our show probably wouldn't go live until like midnight, and I work at 8:30 the next morning. So that does not sound like a fun time to me. So,
Yeah. And it's already almost midnight for you right now.
It is almost midnight for us right now. So I would like to get some sleep, but yeah, we probably won't be tomorrow. The next game, because I think the next game is Wednesday against who I was just talking about, the Oklahoma City Thunder. Yes, it's a home game against the Thunder. And
Let's do that one.
Yeah, we'll definitely do that game. I'll be free for that one, I believe. And then Friday is another Central game against the Oklahoma City Thunder at the Thunder.
Ooh, little home and home.
Actually, we do have a pretty good schedule coming up after the Clippers game. So we've got OKC, Rockets, New Orleans, and then the Grizzlies. So the Grizzlies, unfortunately, probably will have our number just because they're on a hot streak right now. But
yeah, but those are all 5 winnable games or whatever.
Yes, it definitely is.
I even think we can beat the Clippers. I hope we get Cat and D'Lo back on this trip, like on this 5-game stand. I don't know where we are, home or away, but
breaking news.
Well,
not really breaking news. I just heard it before the game. It sounds like they're not going to be back for tomorrow. Like tomorrow's out of the question. They're just out. So we're probably gonna have a very similar squad. Maybe, hopefully, Greg Monroe. But on Wednesday, it sounds like it's pretty likely that they could be back by Wednesday. So if they were to come back Wednesday, that would be nice. Obviously, we'd love to be full strength going up against the Thunder, who we should absolutely demolish. And Gerald, we'll try to get you in there. Are you messaging Gerald?
Am I messaging him?
Yeah. Are you talking to him right now or no?
I will do that right after the show, Gerald. Hit me up on Twitter if I don't do it.
He doesn't have Twitter, right?
Oh shit, you don't have Twitter. Okay. Let me make this happen. I don't know.
Are you able to just share it in the chat? Like the invite?
I did. It didn't work.
Maybe I have to approve it. Maybe you're like you've been banned for spam.
Banned for spam. Speaking of banned, Dane Moore tweeted here, Naz Reid on why he's more frustrated about tonight's loss. I feel like we have a chance to make the playoffs. When we hurt ourselves, we ruin our chances in a way. Definitely the frustration is there. And the frustration is there because we're a lot better than we played tonight. I don't know why I quoted that. Naz Reid, continuously being frustrated. I can't wait to watch and listen to that post-game interview. Turnovers matter. Playing hard matters. Being locked in matters. Out of bounds plays matters. Everything matters. So when we have a game like this tonight, 24 turnovers, we killed ourselves. Well, I don't know why I said any of that.
Yeah, all I'm curious about is that are you banned from Dane Moore?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh my god.
All right, Vuki/Gerald. I sent you. I sent you a DM.
Good.
You're playing Ark. Survival Evolved.
Ooh. Nice.
Ooh. I see things.
All right. Well, guess what? It's 45 minutes. We hit our goal.
Let's get the fuck out of here.
Let's get out. All right. Well, I appreciate all you for checking out again.
Yeah, likewise.
It's great to see you guys come back here all the time after even crazy. Well, it wasn't that bad of a loss, but even after losses, you're real ones. But anyways, we will see you.
You are real ones.
Likely Wednesday night. So enjoy your night tomorrow after the game. Maybe Timberwolves Daily will be live. Check him out if he is. But yeah, we will be back Wednesday night to talk about a Thunder win. Anyways, all right. You guys have a good night. Happy New Year if we didn't see you on the last show. And we will see you on Wednesday night. Goodbye.